Alright, UFC 246 is over, done in the books. If you haven't checked out my first video before the fight, you can go take a look at that now. I kind of laid out the potential of what the Conor versus Cowboy fight could have if things were to go in Conor's way. I predicted the fight. And yeah, so if you want to jump over and check that out, I highly recommend that. The card wasn't great. So we'll just jump into the main event, Conor versus Cowboy. The walkouts were great. It was classic. It was good to see. Both fighters looked ready to go, and they went at it. And something that I'm just going to throw in here real quick about Conor is he's one of those guys that if you have a friend or an athlete, or it can be related to anything, but just that person that just can't wait for the first whistle to blow, just to get to the action. And Conor's one of those guys, man. Like, when Herb Deem and that rep, or whoever the ref is standing in the middle telling them to touch gloves, follow the rules, like, you can't say go fast enough for a guy like Conor. He just looks so dialed in and just ready to get to it. But with that being said, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. How did the fight play out? If you didn't watch, it was great. Conor TKO'd Cowboy in 40 seconds. I feel bad for Cowboy, but it's good for business, and it's good for a fight fan if Conor wins. Let's just be honest there. But yeah, he TKO'd him 40 seconds, really quick in the very first round. Herb Dean started the action. Conor shot straight across the octagon, took center, and threw a left hand immediately. It's very similar to the Jorge Masvidal Ben Askren fight, where Jorge immediately shot over, threw the knee. Flying knee at Ben, except Conor's left hand missed. When he missed, Cowboy ducked under. He ducked under pretty hard, and they met and clinched. And I don't think Cowboy necessarily shot hard for the takedown, but something people aren't really talking about, and I think John Kavanagh, Conor's head coach, kind of touched on it a little bit. But when they clinched, Conor did this standing sprawl like in a split second, and I think that eliminated Cowboy being able to really drive that takedown. And I think Conor eliminating that just kind of shut that whole thing down. And who knows, Cowboy might have not have been going for that. But anyways, they clinched, and then Conor started hitting with shoulder strikes. He hit him with one, Cowboy took it, and I think he threw 3 in total. And then he hit him with another. And then on the third one, Cowboy realized that he did not need to take any more of those. So they broke the clinch, and Cowboy's nose was already bleeding. And then I think Cowboy threw a head kick, and Conor blocked it. Conor might have threw a combination, like a short one. And then I'm pretty sure after that he landed the left head kick. Just landed right on the button of Cowboy. Cowboy did throw his hand up, but it did not block that kick. Conor slipped it through. That stumbled Cowboy. Cowboy backed up to the fence, and then Conor just went into killer instinct mode from there and just finished him off. And that was the fight. It was a beautiful performance. In my first video, I predicted that he stops Cowboy in 2 rounds, and I was wrong there, but I did predict that he'd look good doing it. And Saturday night, he did look good doing it. There's no denying that. Say what you want. Where do we go from here? So one thing about Conor is that he is really good at laying the hook out there and having as many options on the table as possible. He is the best at that. So right now, he has like 4 or 5 options that he can take from here. And I'll give you those and kind of where I think it's going to go. But he has Jorge Masvidal on the table, Kamaru Usman fight, Justin Gaethje, Nate Diaz, the Khabib fight, or he could do a boxing match. That's pretty crazy that he has all those options. I think they go for the Jorge Masvidal fight, and that's a tough fight, but I think that makes a lot of sense for the fans. I think it makes a lot of sense for business for the UFC, and I think that's where they're going to go with it. And let's see what happens. That's a tough fight. That's a handful for Conor. But I'm done doubting Conor. And I think anything's possible. I think he brings a lot to the table every time he fights. And that'd be a good one. If he can get past Jorge, It's set up for the year that I kind of talked about in my first video. It should be a historical year. It could set up for that Khabib rematch at the end of the year, given that Khabib takes care of business against Tony. And another thing you can set up for, some people might not realize, is if he beats Jorge Masvidal, then it could really honestly set up for that title fight against Kamaru Usman. I don't like that fight for Conor, but you never know, man. If he could win the welterweight title, that'd be pretty crazy. And Kamaru Usman has beaten everybody that's in line except for Jorge Masvidal. So if Conor beats Jorge Masvidal, then who's next in line? It'd be Conor. That'd be pretty crazy. And yeah, so that's how it went. Conor beat Cowboy, and we're in for an exciting year of fights. I think everybody can agree that when Conor's fighting, it's just better for the sport. I know that I'm excited for him to be back. I hope you get to tune into the next fight if you missed this one. You guys let me know what you think is next for Conor. Hope you liked the video. If you do like the video, throw a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to try to post some fight videos. I really enjoyed making these couple videos talking about it because it is a passion of mine. Pretty big fight fan. So for the bigger fights, I'll try to throw my predictions out there. And if there's anything that I have on my mind, I'll probably throw a quick video up. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good week.